Hey everybody, KJ will be here momentarily. We'll just go ahead and start with questions for Tristan and then we'll let him go. So anything for Tristan, go ahead and ask now.
Tristan, you guys jumped out to, I think it was an 8-2 lead after you got the steal and the slam in the first 2 minutes, and then obviously they responded with an 11-0 run. What had changed early in the game? Did you feel any kind of sense of a letdown or momentum-wise after that happened?
Honestly, I don't even know. I'm gonna have to watch the film again. I don't really know. I'm sorry.
It just feels like they had like every answer for whenever you guys would go on a run. I mean, what was kind of the...
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're a good team. I mean, they're number 8 in the country. They got really good players, really good coaches. So credit to them. They're a well-coached team. And I feel like they got the toughness to handle adversity, especially on the road. They've been a good road team. And yeah.
Just defensively, you guys seem to have a hard time all night trying to slow things down for them or even make things difficult for them. What were they doing, or what were struggles on your end defensively that you just couldn't get those stops?
Yeah, I feel like we gave him too many buckets, off of turnovers, off of second chance points, especially on the glass, and when you can't kind of you just giving away possessions on offense, and then on defense, if you don't rebound, obviously the possession is never going to be over until you get that board.
Tristan, it felt like, especially in the first half, even when you guys would play good defense in possession, they would make a tough shot or they get put back off offensive rebound.
Yeah.
What kind of toll does that take a toll on you guys mentally at all, when you guys are, even when you feel like you have a good possession, they still score?
I mean, I feel like we know what we got to do. It's not like it's a surprise that Balo grabs offensive rebounds. I mean, he's a load down there. So I feel like just a couple possessions or multiple possessions where we didn't do our job well enough. And obviously they're a great team. Even if you play good defense for 25 seconds or whatever, and they take a tough shot, they can still make it because they have good players, good coaches. But those shots are not going to beat us. I feel like the offensive rebounds and the turnovers is what helped them beat us.
Okay, any other questions for Tristan?
Tristan, just as a leader on this team, just what's kind of going to be your message to the guys after this one, just to kind of right the ship?
Yeah, I mean, this is not going to define us. I feel like Coach talked about it just now as well. We had some really good shots on offense. We had some good possessions on defense. So we know what we're capable of. And we just have an opportunity to go out there and prove that on the road.
Okay.
Appreciate you.
Questions for KJ?
KJ asked Tristan this, but it felt like every time you guys would start to catch some momentum offensively, maybe make 5 or 7, they would kind of have a counter punch every time. I mean, what were you seeing as they were able to kind of, like I said, just match every kind of offensive run you guys were having?
They just never got rattled. They never got rattled, and that's why they're ranked for a reason. That's why they had the success they have for a reason. Good team like that, they play poised, they play under control, no matter how many points the other team scores, no matter what the run is, and That's what really happened. You know, every time we scored, they never hung their heads or got frustrated with one another. They just stuck to the game plan and kept on playing.
The guy should be in the second half. What was causing that?
None much. I just feel like, you know, a couple of their guys, you know, they're already up. There's no need to, you know, go out of your way and talk trash to, you know, especially a younger guy. You know, I felt like they were just unnecessary stuff. And, you know, as a leader, I'm just wired to stick up for my teammates. Just be a great teammate. And when I feel like, you know, they're getting disrespected, just stand up and show them that, you know, I have their back. But at the end of the day, I think it's on me, though. I need to do a better job of, you know, keeping composure. You know, can't get, you know, too hot-headed in a situation like that. Just got to keep playing. I mean, that's basketball. You know, stuff happens. Just competitive.
KJ, this team has struggled defensively, at least to be consistent throughout the season. We saw it again tonight, but what has to happen maybe over the last month of the regular season here if you guys are going to get that defense turned around?
We have to just make that our identity. I feel like a lot of times we talk about it, but we let our offense dictate our defense. And once we have that defensive mindset of just taking pride in every possession and holding teams to, you know, force tough shots and take away some gimme baskets, then, you know, our defense will start to rise, and then hopefully so will our offense as well. But our offense isn't our issue. It's defense right now. And I think we just need a shift in our focus, you know, understanding that's where we need to prioritize ourselves.
Anything else for KJ? All right, thanks, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, we got Coach Tad Boyle. Coach, if you please start with an opening statement, we'll open it up for questions.
Yeah, look, you know, I've done a lot of these post-game press conferences after losses and some after wins as well. But you know, sometimes it's necessary where you just got to tip your cap to the other team. Like, I thought Arizona played great tonight. You know, I really do. I think they deserved to win. They were the more aggressive team. They made shots, and they were physical, and we didn't play well enough to win, and that was obvious. But you know, I look at two areas that cost us this game, and one of them is second chance points, where they got 23 of them, and the other one was points off turnovers. They got another 23. So that's 46 of their 99 were a result of us not taking care of the basketball and not limiting them to one shot. And both those things were on our offensive and defensive boards. You know, there's always three things we want to focus on to beat the team we're playing: 3 on offense, 3 on defense. And if we can do those things that are on that board, we usually win. But when we don't, like tonight, it's tough. And especially when you play against a team like Arizona, who's very good, and they're well coached and they play hard. And our guys compete. They played hard. They didn't back down. I'm proud of their effort, but our execution wasn't good enough. Our ball movement was, even though I thought we still got some really good looks, you know, even in the second half, you know, early in the second half, we didn't get good looks, or we got good looks and didn't make them. They got good looks and made them. And, you know, it goes from a 7-point game to like a 12 or 13-point game, and we're playing catch-up from there. And that's a hard team to play catch-up with when you can't stop them. And you know, they shoot 53% in your building and score 99 points. You got to look at one area, and that's defense. But part of that was our taking care of the ball, and part of that was not limiting them to one shot. If we do those two things, we can win this game, or at least have a chance to win it. But don't do those two things against Arizona, because your turnovers, they're gonna turn them into points.
Tad, after you guys jumped out, I think it was an 8-2 lead right there in the beginning, and they went on an immediate 11-0 run.
Right.
What did you see in that moment? Did you see any kind of? You said you were proud of the way the guys fought tonight, but what did you see as they were?
Well, I thought we gave them some threes, and you know, look, Love. You know, we knew Love's got deep range. We knew he's never met a shot he doesn't like. He's a good player. He really is. I mean, he got going. He's a good road player. You know, we talked about the fact that I think he's going into the night. I think he's averaging like 19 or 20 points on the road, and he's averaging like 20 for the season. So it's like, road home, he's not afraid of the moment by any means, and we let him get going a little bit. Boswell, who's been struggling, he made a couple, and we just we weren't good enough, and they made some good shots. They made their open shots. We had a lot of open looks that didn't go in. And again, when you're playing against a team that's number 8 in the country and that's playing well, when you get an open shot, you got to make it. Because they're a good defensive team as well.
Obviously, Eddie picking up the 2 early fouls 10 minutes in. I mean, what was the message to the guys at that point when you're forced to kind of play a little bit smaller?
Yeah, we had to play small at that point, and they play through their bigs, and so we were looking to double the post. We did a good job of that at times. We got leg whipped a few times, and Arizona's as good as anybody in the country about playing inside out basketball and really looking inside and having a presence in there, and that's why they're really good. And we can maybe take a page out of their book, but we got to do it. We do it at times. We just don't do it as consistent as they do. So yeah, Eddie picking up 2 fouls. Although we made a little run there at the end and we cut it to 7. I thought we were in good shape coming out of halftime. Cody had 2, Eddie had 2, but we didn't get stops out of halftime, and so the lead balloons, and then you're playing catch up.
Coach, you just mentioned it felt like 7 points was a decent spot to be in considering how they played. And then it felt like it was 15 like that.
Yeah.
Did you feel like that kind of popped the balloon, like to the air?
I don't know, because our guys kept fighting. I wish if our guys went away and they quit and they, stopped competing, I'd say yeah. But no, I obviously it just puts you in a hole, and that hole is hard to get out of, especially when you can't string together stops. Again, somebody shoots 53% from the field, scores 99 points in your building, your defense isn't good enough. Part of that has to do with second chance points. Part of that has to do with not taking care of the ball, and part of it has to do with your defense. So, but Arizona's a very efficient team, and again, I credit them. I credit them. I don't discredit our guys, because our guys fought and scratched and clawed, and they gave everything they had. We just weren't good enough.
Did you think about coming back with Eddie with the 2 fouls?
Yeah, if it was going to get out of hand, I was, but I thought we were doing a decent job, without him, and I just, he picks up his 3rd, and it's really hard then. I mean, it's such a physical game, and Arizona's such a physical team. They put foul pressure on you, so yeah, I mean, I thought about it, but I didn't do it, as long as we can kind of keep it within striking distance, which we did. But I don't second guess that decision whatsoever. But
anything else for Coach?
Asked this to KJ, you might have heard, but you've been inconsistent defensively for
Yeah.
the bulk of this season, down to February now.
Yeah.
How can this change over the final month?
it could change if the players decide they want to make a change. That's how it can change. Okay, their coach isn't going to change what he stresses and what we practice and what we work on. We work on guarding the ball. Obviously we maybe need to work on boxing out a little bit better. We've been pretty good with turnovers, but again, Arizona, you turn it over against them, it's they're going to convert more often than not. So, but to answer your question bluntly, it's when our players decide this is what we're going to do, and they go out there and do it on a consistent basis, that's when it'll change. And UCLA's done it. They're playing at a high level defensively, and they weren't earlier in the season. So it can happen, but we got to commit. KJ mentioned it. Like, we got to commit to making it happen. Can't talk about it. Right now, we've been talking about it. We do it sometimes, and other times we don't. And that's why we are where we are.
Looking forward, you feel good about Luke O'Brien's health status in limited minutes today?
His ankle wasn't right. He was limping in the second half. So again, if you're limping, you're not healthy. He wanted to go. It's his decision. He'll decide if he goes against UCLA. Every ankle's different. But he was obviously not 100% tonight.
Coach, just curious, what's your message to Cody after a night like this, where it seemed like he was a little bit bothered by some of the defensive physicality from Arizona, just wasn't able to get in a rhythm offensively? What do you say to him?
Look, the thing with Cody is he just can't press. You know, I don't want him to feel like he's got, you know, pressure on him and the weight of the world on him. The nice thing that Cody's got is he's got a group of teammates who are veterans, and that he doesn't have to, you know. I want him to be aggressive, under control, and he did that at times tonight. Other times, you know, he struggled a little bit. But I knew Arizona was going to get into him physically, and Arizona State even tried to go at, like, he just has to understand that's coming. You know, it comes with the territory to some degree, and so my message to Cody is going to be just, hey, same thing it was when he first arrived on campus. I said, Cody, you're a freshman. You know, you're going to have good nights, you're going to have bad nights, you're going to have good practices, you're going to have bad practices. You got to put the bad ones behind you. You got to learn from the good ones and continue to get better every day in practice and from game to game. And you can't let tough nights like this affect tomorrow or affect Monday or affect next Thursday. Just come back, keep doing what you're doing. He's a hell of a player. He's smart, and he wasn't the only one that wasn't at his best tonight. We had a handful of guys that weren't at their best. But I thought they fought and they competed, and that's, as a coach, that's all I can ask. And so we'll get better. I believe that. I believe in this team. I'm certainly not giving up on anything or anybody. But we have to play better than we did tonight when we're playing against really, really good teams to give ourselves a chance to win. And the building was ready. It's ironic that the best crowd of the year saw the only loss in this building, you know. So, but our fans were great, and I apologize to them.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Yeah.